Hey guys, welcome to It's Alive podcast. Ben here. Now I'm pre-recording this video for you it'll be Saturday. For me it's the Sunday previous because I'll be away visiting family. So I thought I'd have something ready to upload for you for Saturday. So we've got a lot to get through on this one. I thought I'd do a whole lot more stuff in this one just to make up the fact that I won't be doing one on the actual Saturday. First thing I want to talk about, and this is something I got yesterday but I didn't want to drink it before I'd actually talked about it, is this right here. Cherry 7-Up. Now this is something I got from the international aisle of my local supermarket. If you're in New Zealand, Countdown do always, yeah, no, that works. Do always, no, that doesn't work. Countdown have always had a good international aisle. There, I got that out eventually. Yay for me. And this is where I got this from. It's absolutely delicious. I know it's 7-Up, but with 7-Up with cherry flavour in it, so it's actually really refreshing. Definitely more so than your regular 7-Up, which is fine. Nothing wrong with 7-Up, nothing wrong with things like Sprite and all that as well. But just the cherry 7-Up just has a lot more of a refreshing flavour to it. So definitely check it out. In New Zealand, try Countdown International Aisle. This particular can was bottled in Texas. I don't know why I'm saying that, it just seemed like an interesting thing. And if you're in the States, then you'll probably find this stuff absolutely everywhere, and you're probably going, dude, we have that everywhere. Over here we don't have it just as everywhere, but it'd be awesome if we did. So yeah, cherry 7-Up, definitely, probably, I don't know, we'll still call it my drink of the week. Alright, so now we're on to the signed item of the week. Now, signed item of the week, and I will have a picture of this up on Instagram, the link will be down below for that, is this fabulous album here. This is the Ascendancy by Trivium. Now this, it doesn't look signed on the front, that's because it isn't. This I have signed here on the DVD by Paolo. Now this I got signed, I believe it was in 2007, when I went to see Trivium in the UK, at the Cambridge Corn Exchange. I'm trying to remember exactly where it was. Yes, the Cambridge Corn Exchange in Cambridge, funnily enough. And I got to see Trivium, Gojira, Sanctity and Annihilator all in one night, which was amazing. If you've never seen Jeff Waters play guitar, look up footage of Annihilator or look up the album Alice in Hell. That's just absolutely outstanding. This I got signed. I was waiting outside the show with a couple of guys that I'd met, and we saw Paolo walking past, so we all sort of went over and said hello. He was really nice. I mean, it's the first time I'd ever met someone in a band like that, and he was really really friendly. Signed stuff, taking photos with people. I also still have the T-shirt from that gig, which is this. It's from the Crusade tour in 2007. Has the dates on the back there. Now, being that this is a medium T-shirt, and I am no longer of a medium size, more to love I'd call myself now, is I don't fit this T-shirt anymore, but I've always kept it because it's one of those few T-shirts that actually has the tour date that I actually went to on it, so that was really cool. Also from that show, and I found this while digging through my box of T-shirts that don't fit my fat ass anymore, is this awesome Sanctity T-shirt here. I got this at the same show from the guys from Sanctity who are out by their merch desk selling their merch, and I got this awesome t-shirt as well. I wore this for absolutely years, and you can't really see it on this video, but it is actually starting to wear through. It's been worn that often. So definitely check out Sanctity. I do believe they broke up a few years ago, which kind of sucks because they were actually really awesome. And yeah, that was an awesome day. It was the first time ever going overseas to see a show. I didn't know anyone in England apart from my mum, and obviously I wasn't taking my mum to a show like that. So it was cool. Went outside the show, met a couple of, all the people that I met outside. They were actually really cool, and we saw a monk walking past. I don't know why I'm mentioning that because it has nothing to do with the story really whatsoever, but it was interesting at the time. So yeah. Trivium, Ascendancy, really good album. It's actually, I just realised today that it actually is 10 years since that particular album came out. I should hold it up because I'm just staring at it sitting over here on a shelf. It's 10 years since this album came out. It's definitely probably, I would say, my favourite Trivium album. It's got my favourite Trivium song on it, which is Rain, and then probably followed very close second by Paul Harder on the Strings of Your Martyr. And yeah, it was awesome. They were doing, when I saw Trivium, they were touring the album The Crusade, and they played a lot of songs from the Ascendancy, obviously, and then obviously a lot of songs from The Crusade as well. Alright, now we're on to my movies of the week. Now I say movies because I couldn't really pick between the two, so I thought we'll do both. First one I've got for you is Detroit Rock City, with the tagline "Kiss the Rules Goodbye." Yes, it's very funny. This one's got starring the younger Edward Furlong in it. Edward Furlong, most people would probably know from Terminator 2, Judgment Day. It's a movie about 4 friends who want to go and see the rock band Kiss in Detroit. One of the kids' mothers, I'm just going to say spoiler alert now because I just started spoiling it, so spoiler alert, it should pop up right about here. Spoiler alert anyway, again. 4 kids want to go see Kiss in Detroit. One of the kids' mothers finds the 4 Kiss tickets they had, hidden in a jean jacket, thinks that Kiss is Satan and all that, standing for Knights in Satan's service, clearly. Throws the tickets away. My hand won't stop doing this now, so I'm just going to dance while I do this. So, anyway, so it's basically their story of these guys getting to Detroit and getting in to see Kiss. Of course there's a happy ending in it. I'm not going to tell you all the adventures in between. May or may not involve a small child beating the crap out of one of these kids, pardon my French. May or may not involve some disco. And possibly may also involve, I'm just going to see and read really quickly. No, I'm not going to tell you what happens. I was going to, but then I decided against it. So yeah, Detroit Rock City. I have a photo of this up on Instagram. Check it out. It's not the greatest film in the world, but I love it. I think it's awesome. Plus Kiss in it, and if anyone knows me well enough knows I absolutely love Kiss. Now, second film is Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Anyone who's seen the show, even seen the stage show, I mean, or seen the movie, this film needs no introduction. It's a Tim Burton production with Johnny Depp in it, and it's dark. That's pretty much all I'll say. I don't want to ruin the surprises of the film, but it is awesome. I also have the soundtrack here for it. It's easily my favourite soundtrack of all time. I often have many of these songs on my iPod walking around, which kind of makes it an odd trip to work if you're listening to the soundtrack to Sweeney Todd while on a bus. Personal favourite song of the whole thing is probably going to be My Friends, which I just decided if I can actually say anything without ruining it. No, I can't. My Friends from Sweeney Todd. Look, let's have a watch of the movie. You'll understand what that means when he starts singing that. This came out in, why do I never ever figure these things out before I start talking? 2008 it came out, I knew that all along. And I just went to the movies with my wife. She said, "Do you want to come and see it?" And I said, "Yeah, okay, it's a musical. I'm not, not a big musical man." Went and saw this, absolutely fell in love with it. To this day, I absolutely adore this thing. Yeah, there's not really too much more to say that won't actually completely destroy it. Johnny Depp is, of course, his usual excellent self in it. Helena Bonham Carter's in it, Alan Rickman's in it, Timothy Spall. It's just wall-to-wall greatness. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. I don't say a lot of movies are that good, but this really is fantastic. So, Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street, get the DVD, get the soundtrack, enjoy. Alrighty, and now we're on to my album of the week. And also thought I'd tell you about my favourite album of all time, and an album that, to be completely honest, I didn't know if I had high hopes for it. I love the 2 guys involved in the album, but I thought, now, this could be really good, or it could be awful, and it turned out to be pretty damn good. So, first off, we're going to go with Album of the Week. Now, a lot of people who know me as someone who listens to a lot of Kiss, Trivium, Deicide, Cannibal, metal and things, will probably be really surprised at this, but this is my Album of the Week. 1989 by Taylor Swift. It's just great. I can't remember what song I heard. It was either Welcome to New York or Style, and I just thought, shit, that's a really well done pop record. That's really about all I say about it, is it's a very well done, very well produced pop record. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a lot of people I know don't like pop music, but I personally like to listen to a little bit of everything. When writing music, I generally seem to pull from all kinds of different directions as far as musical genres go. But yeah, that was a really well done album, and it's done spectacularly well for her. Probably my favourite song on the album, sorry that's dust flying around, is the song, either the song Style or the song Welcome to New York. So I definitely highly recommend you check it out. There is a deluxe edition which I got, which has 3 bonus tracks and 3 what she calls songwriting voice memos. Now I thought these would just be demos. I thought that's kind of cool. Everyone put demos on stuff. It's actually her talking about how she recorded and wrote some of these songs, which is which is really interesting. It has little snippets of the original demos for some of these songs as well. So definitely worth checking out. So Taylor Swift, 1989. Now the album that I thought wouldn't be, I wasn't sure if it would be good, but it actually turned out to be really good. And again, I'll pop photos of all this stuff up on Instagram, and again the link will be down below, is the Madden Brothers Greetings from California. And this one again is signed, so I probably should have just done it one week as a signed thing. I met Benj and Joel was it last year or was it this year? I think it was this year, yes. I'm pretty sure it was this year, at a JV Hi-Fi signing, and it was quite funny when Joel, when they said, oh, what's your name? And I said Benjamin, and they said, I said, oh, I hate being, he said, oh, he hates being called Benji, and I said, yeah, I hate being called Benji as well. So that was a funny moment. But it's a great album. It's yeah, it's an interesting album. It's split up like a record. So you've got intro to side A and intro to side B, even though it's a CD, which is kind of cool. Probably my favourite songs on there are We Are Done, which is kind of a cool, which is an interesting single. It's got that classic Madden Brothers vocal harmony, but the music is completely different to what you think they would do for the most part. It's definitely not Good Charlotte, but it's definitely got some of those same elements, especially with these two singing on it. So definitely give it a listen. It's definitely worth a listen. Probably not everyone's cup of tea, but still a great listen. Now, lastly, for the music, onto my favourite album of all time. Now, I mean, there's a lot of people, again, wouldn't guess this from me, but I absolutely adore this record like nobody's business. This is Introducing by DJ Shadow. Now, this is the version that came out 10 years ago, which was the deluxe edition, and it has a second disc of sort of extended tracks and a couple of songs that weren't on the original album as well. So it's 13 songs on the original album, and, well, it's 14 songs on the second disc, so it's really one song that wasn't on here. It's a live, 12-minute live set from 1997. It's got, again, it has my favourite song of all time, which is Organ Donor, and it has both versions of Organ Donor, the longer 4-minute 4 version, and then on the second disc you have the slightly shorter version. Wait, that's not the longer version. Whoopsie, I was reading the wrong song. It's got the shorter version on disc 1, which is 1:57, and the longer version on disc 2, called the Extended Overhaul, which is 4:29. So they're both excellent. I love this album. I couldn't say enough about it. I could probably listen to this on repeat all day, and I would never get bored. So definitely DJ Shadow's Introducing is by far my favourite album of all time. Alright guys, well now we've come to the end of this video, but before we go I would just like to have a quick talk about guitar picks. Now I know in last week's video we talked about some guitar picks I got from the guys from Saving Grace. And I'll just look through my little container of picks. This is not everything because I've taken some stuff out. A little box here. I keep all my cool picks that I get from people in. And I just wanted to talk about all the other picks I've got quickly. Now I'll put photos of these up on Instagram just in case you can't see them very well in this video. And yes, in my hand I am holding a bullet. Why I'm holding a bullet, you're probably asking, Benjamin, why are you holding a bullet, you're probably asking. I am holding a bullet, dear friends, because of, and let me just find the pick to go with this. The band Bullet Belt from Wellington, New Zealand put out a record last year called Rise of the Banshee, which I highly recommend you do. They're putting out vinyl this year, so definitely get that. I think they should put it on purple vinyl. I don't know if anyone of them is going to listen to me, but put it on purple vinyl because that'd be cool. They did a package for when the album came out. It included CD, t-shirt, guitar pick, and a engraved bullet. So you can't really see the engraving very well on here. It won't show up that well on camera, but there we are. Bullet. Actual bullet. And while we're here, the guitar pick that came with it, which is very cool. Just that on that side. Black on the back. Well, that's very awesome. That's one of my favourites. Now, we'll go through the picks and I'll just explain very quickly, it's a little story about how I got them, things like that. This one here, which is a purple Dunlop bass pick, was one of the probably the first guitar pick I think I ever got from someone in a band. This comes from Shavo, the bass player for System of a Down. I caught this at one of the big day outs of System of a Down player. I really can't remember which one now. And it's one that he sort of threw out to the crowd and landed on the ground in front of me. Bam! I put my foot down over it and just kept it there until the end of the song, which tells you I was able to pick it up and, have it in my possession so no one else got it. It was really cool. I mean, at the time, I still like those. I still remember how I got it, and it's a cool pick. I've never used it. I have picks like it, I've bought a few picks of the sort just so I can use them. But yeah, this is my first ever pick I ever got from someone. It's sort of, you know, always one of those special little mementos. What else we got here? Oh, second pick I'm going to go for is this Marshall KFK The Beast pick. Now this is the same pick that came with the Marshall Kerry King JCM 800 signature head. I do not own that head. If I did, I'd probably talk about that in every video. A friend of mine, Trajan, who plays in the band In Dread Response, gave me this pick once, and again, it's one of my, you know, I love all these picks I get from you. They're all special to me. This is just really cool. I love this pick. I've used it once or twice to try and, you know, have a play of it. It is a Dunlop pick. I'd say it's probably about 0.77 or 0.83 mil thick, but it's a good pick. I don't use it too often because it's the only one of these I've got and I don't really want to ruin it. But yeah, so it's an interesting pick. You don't find too many of these because these were printed for that particular head. Ooh, let's see what else. Oh, this is another one. I'm going to say there's probably about every single one of these and go, oh, this is cool. And then, of course, all of them are going to be cool. This one here came from Des Cadena from the band The Misfits. This is a wedge branded pick, 1 mil thick. It's got a little bit of a, you can't really see it too well, but there is a little bit of a dip in the pick, which is, you know, where your thumb fits in. And I thought, well, that's weird. Tried playing with it once, and it actually is bloody comfortable. So Wedge, that company, if you're listening, if you're watching this, bloody great pick this. I didn't get this from Des himself. He gave a girl who was standing at the side of the stage a whole handful of picks. And because I'd been, I was standing there taking a few photos and was watching, and she turned around and she said, "Oh, you know, would you like one?" and gave me one of these afterwards. So I don't remember who that girl was, but if you ever watched this and you gave this pick to a guy at a Misfits show in, when was that Misfits show? Was it last year? Yes, it was last year. It was in January 2014. I don't know who I'm talking when I say that. Probably you. But yes, so if you're ever watching this girl who gave the pick to a guy in January 2014 at the King's Arms, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Next on the chopping block, this pick here. It's a clear yellow pick, deer on one side, Goodnight Nurse logo on the other. This I got given by Joel Little when he was playing with the band Goodnight Nurse, funny enough. I think the album was called Keep Me On Your Side. Joel, if you're watching this, if I got that wrong, can you just tweet me and tell me that tell me what I should have said? Yes. But this is a great pick. It's a cool looking pick. I got given this, I think it was at the Masonic Tavern in Devonport. They did a show there, and Joel hooked me up with a couple of his picks. For some reason the rest of them seem to have gone walkabouts, but that one's always stayed, and I've always really appreciated that. Appreciate the pick, not the fact the pick decided to stay. This one here came from Rob Arnold when he was playing with the band Chimera. It's an InTune's guitar pick. Now InTune make amazing picks. I've used some of their picks in the past myself, and that is definitely a great pick. I should probably keep these out so I remember to take photos of them. Yes, let's just keep these in my hand there. Da da da. I'm just going to sing just to distract you. Da da da. Now, here's one. Here's another InTune's guitar pick. This is from the Save Rock and Roll tour. It's got given this by, who did give this me? Pete Wentz from Fallout Boy. That was very cool. I happened to be there shooting that show for a vlog called It's Alive Photography. No, not It's Alive Photography, Ben. All Access Photography. Good. I got the actual name right today. After trying once. And yeah, Pete sort of, you know, when I was taking photos between songs, he sort of reached out and said, "Hey, do you want to pick?" And I was like, "Yes, please, sir, of course." And yeah, it was really cool. I think it's about a 1 mil, I'm just trying to, I can never remember how. It's probably about 0.88 mil thick, so it's really good. I mean, he was using them for playing bass, which I always thought you needed a big heavy pick for bass, but no, it turns out not. This one here came from Travis and the band Trivium. This one I got when Atreyu last played in New Zealand, which I think was in about 2008, and they were playing with Avenged Sevenfold and Bullet for My Valentine. That was a cool show. This pick is thick as all heck. It's about 2 mil thick. I still do not understand how both him and Dan Jacobs, I think, were playing with 2 mil thick guitar picks. So again, if you guys are watching this, Dan or Travis, Are you still using these picks? Because I'd be interested to know, because these things are heavy as all heck. I tried playing with this a couple of times. Too much for me, but too thick, but very cool pick indeed. A few more to go and then we're done. This one here is probably my favourite one. This one here is a Dunlop 0.88mm thick sharp pick. Now this comes from Dino Cazares from the band Fear Factory. Now I had the, let's say, sublime opportunity, that sounds a bit weird. The awesome opportunity, we'll go with that, awesome opportunity to see Fear Factory play in 2012 at the King's Arms. Now I've been a Fear Factory fan since I heard the song Replica on a school bus trip and thought, that's me, that's my kind of music. And Dino was cool enough, in between songs, he literally reached down and said, you know, cleared a path to me and pointed at me and said, here, this is for you. It's probably one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me at a show, and I'll always remember that. And it was always just really kind, really nice to, you know, it's only this little bit of plastic really, but it meant the world to me to get that at that time. Now the last two, I'm going to put these down because there's two picks. These I got sent from John, the bass player from the band First Blood. Now if you're into hardcore and you've never heard of First Blood, what the hell, go check out First Blood. John sent me these picks last year. Triangle one there, invisible pick there. I know you can't see anything, it just looks like my fingers, but it's an invisible guitar pick, of course. It's the backs of both of these, both of that. I'll throw these up on Instagram, of course. That was really cool. He just he had the pictures up of them. I said, man, it'd be cool to get one of the couple, you know, one of each of those one day. And he said, oh, what's your address? I'll send them out to you. And he said, super cool, amazing band. I saw them in New Zealand a few years ago in Hamilton, and they were just mind-blowing. Easily, until I saw Marauder twice last year, seeing First Blood was easily the best hardcore show I've ever seen. Well, that is everything for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Pop a like down below, pop a nice comment down below, tweet me, you can email me, all the links to that down below. Check out Instagram for the photos of all this stuff, and I will see you next week. Bye!